Greetings from the Produced by Nostalgia podcast. We're your holly jolly hosts, Jedi and
MK.
This podcast is where we discuss early 21st century media from our childhood as animation production professionals. In today's episode, we're getting to that special time of year, so in the spirit of the season, we're going to give our takes on all things holiday media. We would like to acknowledge that not everyone celebrates Christmas, so this episode will be a little more personal, but we hope that this will remind you of time spent with family and joyful holiday memories. With that said, we're going to get this sleigh in gear and start rocking around this episode.
Alrighty. Hey, happy holidays. Oh my gosh, we're back with a little, what we call this, Jingle, Jangle, holiday wrangle.
Jingle, Jangle, holiday wrangle. That is what I decided to name this episode. It came to me in a fit of inspiration. When I told MK the title of this episode, she laughed.
I thought it was very cute, very funny. But before we honestly get into that, let's talk about some nostalgia news. So I highlight this, Jedi. Feel free to jump in anytime. But Zootopia has actually become the #1 movie since Avengers Endgame. Like, it broke the record, like, for it and stuff of how many, like, box office record of how many people were going. I think it honestly speaks like to one, how many people going to the movies, cough, Netflix trying to buy Warner, and just how much people are just yearning and just really love a family like film. I think it's, and it's a perfect time. I went to go see it with my family for Thanksgiving, and yeah, we had a fun time. It was very silly.
No spoilers, please, no spoilers. I still haven't seen it. I have not been in my movie going bag, but I will say that I would like to echo that people do like going into the theaters to watch these films. It becomes a whole thing. It becomes a memory. You buy the snacks and you buy the drinks and you find your seats in the dark and like the giant screen or whatever. Like, it's a whole thing. And I can't imagine what was going through a certain someone's head when they're like, no one wants to go to the movies anymore. Bro, what are you talking about? But it's on my list of things to watch because I really enjoyed the first Zootopia. I don't know if I'll actually like drag myself into the theater to see the second one, but it seems like it's worth it.
Honestly, I've been in this stage of like ever since even like because I have AMC stuff, so I was like, I need to go to the movies more often since I'm paying for it. But then also I was like, membership. I need to go and invest in being in more in the movie theaters just to also show and contribute to the box office and the ticket sales. Because again, I really do love going to the movies. It's just something to, get outside your house. I live like right up the street from AMC, so I'm like, this is perfect. This is also news to Jedi, so I will be actually releasing a breakdown on why Wicked and Zootopia are the same movie. Y'all,
what? Wait, Zootopia 1 or Zootopia 2?
Zootopia 2 specifically.
And Wicked
but
2,
even
are
then,
they
tied together? That's my theory. It all means the same thing.
So are you gonna drop it on us like right now? Because I've never heard such a thing.
Do you know the premise though of Zootopia?
Zootopia 2? No, but I've seen the teaser trailer. They're like going around with like a reptile with like a snake or something, right? I don't really know. It's been a long while since I saw that teaser trailer too, now that I think about it.
Yeah, so since no spoilers, not right now, but once you watch the movie, we're going to talk about it and bring it back up. Because I've been going on a rant, and my coworkers at work have been hearing me talk about this. And they're like, wow, this is so interesting. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. So,
oh my God, you have to publish this. If we get that blog up and going, you have to put your whole dissertation.
Just in it. No, for sure. I have notes, I have pages, it's just everything.
Do you have a PowerPoint presentation?
For sure.
Yes, let's go!
Love a PowerPoint presentation. But yeah, shout out to Zootopia 2. Like I said, people are willing and ready to go to the movies more. So that's exciting. And like I said, big things since Avengers Endgame, was already like had its own like franchise and brought everyone. So the fact that Zootopia 2 did really big and just being, like a sequel after the first movie and animated, want to know. So shout out to them.
We love to see animated work succeed. I'm ready. I'm ready for her to have a resurgence, meaning the animation industry.
Yes, for sure. She's coming.
Oh.
And then next on the docket, Jedi, you want to go ahead?
Speaking of the animation industry, we have a little bit of sad news. from this past week. So, two greats within the voice acting community have passed. Jeffrey Garcia, the voice of Sheen from The Adventures of Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius, he sadly passed away this week. The other voice actor who passed was the voice of Doug Dimmadome, owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome, Jim Ward himself. So for all my Nickelodeon kids, I'm sure this is hit really, really deep in your hearts because those are two iconic voices there. Just to start off with The Adventures of Jimmy Neutron, that was one of my favorite shows growing up. And I honestly think it was one of the OG CG animated shows. She wasn't pretty, but she did what she had to do.
The writing is so funny from that show. It's hilarious.
And there are just so many iconic lines from Sheen. On TikTok, I've been seeing people do, little compilations of their favorite quotes. And if I had to choose one, man, would I be able to choose one? The one that comes to my head right now is the most unfortunate one where Sheen's like, why do the good die young? Mm-hmm. And I've seen quite a few people post that, and I'm like, that's so, I can't laugh at this because it's not funny, but it's still fits perfectly.
No, there's sometimes humor, unfortunately, in tragedy. But my favorite Sheen quote is, they were like, why can't she come? And it was like, well, I'll give you 3 reasons. 1, she's a female. 2, she's not a boy. And 3, she's a girl. And I was like, right. Very funny. It was trending on TikTok for a while. And I was like, Sheen is so silly.
He's so silly. And did you ever watch that spin-off series, Planet Sheen?
I did not. Like, I watched maybe like 2 episodes and I was like, ass. And so, yeah.
Stop. We're paying our respects, please.
We're paying our respects, but I'm sorry, that show was not good.
It was.
Let's be honest.
Spin-off shows have a bit of a hard time. I'm going to give them some grace. The thing is, I feel like people were expecting it to be pretty much like Jimmy Neutron, and it wasn't going to be because Sheen, he is a different character altogether. I don't know if he has the certain je ne sais quoi that it can hold up a show, but I found it entertaining from time to time. I don't remember any of the other characters' names. I know that he had a crush on an alien girl, and I was like, how could you do this to Libby?
Exactly, that's why I didn't like it.
He had another alien friend who looked suspiciously like Carl. I think there was a monkey in a spacesuit. Man, I have not thought about that show in a really long time, but kudos to Jeffrey for getting that starring role, even if the people did not see the genius there.
There was no genius. It was
I'm screaming. We are paying our respects. Please, woman.
We are paying our respects, but that show was not good. That had nothing to do with him.
Let's go back to Jimmy Neutron. Let's go back to Jimmy Neutron.
Yeah, we're going to have to. No one's talking about the shit. But yeah, I love Sheen. Damn, now I'm like, who's gonna play him in the upcoming movie?
There's an upcoming movie?
Well, you don't know about this. It was so funny.
I'm screaming.
Somebody put, I'm not gonna say who the writer, I did used to work with the writer, but I thought that was funny. He put on his LinkedIn page, like, writer for the upcoming Jimmy Neutron movie that's in development. And someone took a screenshot and was like,
of course they did.
Jimmy Neutron getting a revival? What's going on? Like, what? So then that got like some, like media. But you know what's funny with like animation sometimes is that like only like a few people, and depending on only a few people will get it if you're really in that zeitgeist. So as soon as he probably heard that people were talking about it, he took it down and just said, right at Nickelodeon. And it was like, that's so funny.
You done messed up. The Nickelodeon police are at your house right now. They're outside your door.
Why would you do that? But yeah, so there's a Jimmy Neutron movie or whatever coming out. They haven't like set a date or anything, but I just thought it was funny. That's at least it's in development. So I don't know how much it's pushing, but that they're all in talks of it.
Yeah, for all the people out there who are not in the animation industry, we are not supposed to post about projects that are upcoming in any capacity. Sometimes they don't even want you like mentioning it in your resume for like new jobs. So that's like a big faux pas. But I mean, he took it down. So
but
we all know
is serious.
The internet is forever.
For sure. Like, Jesus.
Before we move on, let's put some love on Jim Ward. Doug Dimmadome. He was also the voice of Chet You Betcha, the news anchor in Fairly Odd Parents.
It's been a minute, but shout out to him for having a role.
Not that pause. That was a pause of remembrance, everyone. We were honoring his spirit.
Shout out to him. No, it's very sad that these voice actors, I hope they know that they have become a prominent, voice in like a lot of people's like childhood and growing up and hearing that.
Yeah,
So while maybe they are just known for like one or two roles or just that, like they still embedded in a big lot. Like the voice actors is one of the actors where I'm like, oh my gosh, like my childhood, I'm crying. I was in tears when Robin Williams passed away. Just because of voice acting cadence, but that's another thing. But even Doug Zell, Dimmadome, and the voice of Sheen, like that's very prominent in two prominent shows on Nickelodeons.
Yeah. And we're kids who grew up on Nickelodeon, so their voices are still in our heads and they're still in our hearts. So I'm glad that we have, a moment since we talk about media in here, and especially like how nostalgic it is and how it brought us to this industry. Like, I just want to pay respects to them and to their legacy, and maybe we'll get the chance to see any of their other projects they've worked on, because I'm pretty sure both have done more than these roles. These are just the ones that they're known for, but they did really great work, and sending out good, positive condolences to their families in this time.
For sure. Yep.
But yeah, so we're going to keep on trucking along, hit our last bit of nostalgia news before we get into the episode. So this is maybe a controversial news story, but Mariah Carey, she did a commercial a few weeks back to kind of herald in the holiday season. I believe it was a commercial for Sephora, and you let me know if you've seen this commercial, because I have seen the commercial because people were talking about it when it came out way back when. And what happens in the commercial is that Mariah Carey, I think she's kind of like the queen of Christmas or something, or she's some sort of deity of some sort. And then an elf like busts into the room and he's like, Christmas is canceled. I'm boycotting whatever. Like, we're not getting any gifts. We're not working. Like, Santa hasn't been paying us enough. And basically Mariah's response to that is, fuck you, get back to work. You can't cancel Christmas. And I think she turns him into something. Oh my gosh, I can't remember what she turns him into. I should have rewatched this commercial, but she turns him into something, and it was just a very interesting way to bring in the holiday season. And of course she like flies into the night and she like drops like lip gloss on the communities or whatever. It's a Sephora commercial, it's a makeup, it's whatever. But I just thought it was in really bad taste.
I agree that it's in really bad taste given today's climate. It's funny. Like most people, sometimes I don't watch everything that I repost. So I saw it on her story and she was like, it's time, because she did the infamous, like, it's time after, like, on November 1st. So when she did that, she was interrupted, record scratch. And then, like you said, the elf came out and was like, we're like so sick and tired of this Christmas. We're going on strike. We're not doing this, and it just paint a way of how corporations see workers, which is like, well, wait a minute. Given the times, given that everything is stupid expensive right now, stupid high, given that the political state of the world is like dying basically, and you're going to be like, oh, well, they're going on strike, and it's like, hey, get back to work. Well, that's very, what's the term? Like, they didn't read the room, so to speak. So it's like, come on,
bad taste. There is a word, I can't think of the word either, but like what I'm settling on is it's in bad taste. And like, even with boycotts that are happening, they're happening because of the atrocities that are happening to people and people not wanting to support these businesses. Like, do I really need a lip gloss when someone across the world is like losing their life? It's really hard to support this commercial.
Yeah, that was like not a good taste in the Queen's, viewing and stuff. So it was very odd just seeing that. I would like the regular traditional of her just saying it's time, and then we're just singing.
They really didn't have to make a political statement at all, because the thing is, this country, it runs on capitalism. People weren't going to stop, advertising for Christmas, marketing for, the big sales going on like Black Friday and, Christmas shopping or whatever. They weren't going to stop, but they didn't have to like rub it into the consumers' faces that, yeah, we know you guys are having a hard time, but suck it up. Someone's got to buy this shit. Like, that's what it feels like.
Yeah, it gave it like, oh, they're going to be funny because it's like satire or like whatever. But I was like, yeah, like you said, just in bad taste, very empty-headed, very like, you guys aren't figuring this out, and I don't like that. So,
oh gosh, I looked it up. So what she turned the elf into was a snowman, and people were like, oh, so you're making him like a literal like snowflake. And so that also was just, it was just out of touch. That's how I've seen people describe it. The commercial was just out of touch. I said, before we started recording that I don't know if I still want Mariah Carey to be the queen of Christmas, but MK, feel free to disagree. You know, we all do what we must for a check.
She is the queen of Christmas, always and forever. I just think this one thing was just in bad taste. God forbid a girl don't read the contract and she's like, sure, whatever. Like, Mariah is known for being a diva, known for being like, okay, I'm just gonna get my check in my balance. So I do think it was in poor taste. Don't get me wrong, but I won't dethrone her because of this one thing. I'm sorry. All I Want for Christmas is still getting played on my Christmas playlist. So
trust. The song's already released. Honestly, I was at the mall earlier today and I heard it and I was like, so, you know, she's still in my thoughts. I won't be ride or dying for her. You're not going to hear me say much about nothing. But if the song plays, I'm going to have to sing.
Yes, always, forever.
But speaking of Christmas, let's get into this here Christmas special. I am starting to feel that holly jolly spirit, even though this last news story was a little bit of a downer, but it just makes me even more excited for the Christmas season. So let's get her started. Let's go.
Yeah, Christmas time.
Man. So for today's episode, we're gonna take it back to the Christmas specials of our yesteryears Christmas movies, and there's a lot of Christmas content out there, Christmas content out the wazoo. It took me a minute to try to condense some of my favorites because there's just so many. Yeah, so let's get into this episode, and let's start off with some of our Christmas memories because I have so many good memories when it comes to the Christmas season and spending time with family and, you know, watching TV all day, being in my pajamas, drinking hot chocolate mixed in with like candy canes. Darn it. I was not putting cotton candy into hot chocolate. It was candy canes.
That could work too.
Please no. That would be really sugary.
On Christmas memories, that one that comes to mind?
If I have to think of one that comes to mind, I would have to say one of my favorite things about the Christmas season is setting out cookies and milk for Santa Claus and then trying to stay up as late as possible to catch him. So me, my little brother, and my little sister, we would try our best. We were like, we're gonna catch him this year. And now as an adult, looking back, I'm like, we really made it hard for our parents because now as an adult, since I'm not waiting for Santa anymore, I'm like helping with the gift wrapping stuff. But as kids, we would stay up and we would, you know, just be watching Christmas specials on TV or watching movies up until I feel like we never made it past like 1 or 2 a.m. because we were children, but it was still pretty late. And so we would set out the cookies and we'd be really excited. Most of the times we set out like Oreos because me and my sister, we don't eat a lot of like regular cookies because we have allergies. So we set out like Oreos and we would usually just have a cute little mug of milk. I think we usually drank it cold or we had it cold for Santa Claus and we would just be waiting and we would just stay up. But then at some point, my parents would come down. They're like, all right, kids, Santa, he won't come if you guys don't go to sleep. And we're like, no, but we want to catch him. But eventually we would all, you know, start to pass out a little bit. I think 1 or 2 years we did actually like pass out in the living room. But for the most part, we would go back to our rooms and be like, all right, if we don't catch Santa, it's okay, as long as he brings gifts. And then in the morning, you know, we would do the whole thing. In my household, everyone has to be awake and like ready to open gifts. Like we can't like run down and start opening stuff. So by like 7 a.m., I was up. Me and my brother and my sister, we were all up and we would be knocking on our parents' door. Like, you need to come downstairs right now. And they're like, no, we're going to wait until 8 or 9 a.m. Let's have some decorum. And so then we would wait, but then we would sit around the tree and then we would take turns, usually starting with my little sister because she's the youngest. We would open our gifts. And so it was a whole thing. And the reason why I have a different perspective on it now is because wrapping up the gifts, my parents would do it the night of Christmas Eve. So they were waiting for us to go to bed so that they could wrap these gifts. And I just think that's so funny that we were delaying them because we really wanted to see Santa. And I'm like, that's wild. So they were wrapping gifts at like 3, 4 a.m. And then at 7 a.m. we would be like, we have to go down. We have to open these gifts.
Yeah, we're like, no, we're still wrapping the gifts, please.
They're still recovering from having to wrap the gifts. So that's just a really fond memory of mine. And yeah, we never caught Santa, but you know what? It's better this way.
That's cute.
Do you have any special Christmas memories?
I didn't really grow up believing in Santa. But the special memories was just very much watching the Christmas specials watching different movies. We did bake cookies, but we knew it was for us. It was like a real fun time. Or, well, let me take that. Well, I didn't grow up believing in Santa, but there was one year where my mom started to do the elf on the shelf, which is the little elf that comes. He's supposed to come to everybody's house. He sits on a shelf and he's supposed to like watch you and make sure like you don't really like do anything bad, and stuff. Or it's, some people do it, to where the elf does something bad and it's blamed on the kids.
I've never heard of such things.
Yeah, this is real funny because then I got to help, because I was like older and stuff, that it was so cute. So that like my mom would like get the elf and then she would put it on. My sister can't hear this episode. My mom would like put like tissue all over like the house and stuff. And then the elf would be sitting right there. There's even like a couple of ones where it's funny, like the elf is like, he drunk all the like hot chocolate, or like he left a big mess, or he just did like a bunch of other stuff. And then there's just like, I didn't do it. And I was like, the elf messed it up. Who did it? And the rule is also that the kids can't touch the elf or the elf will lose his powers and have to go back to the north. It was, cause there was one time where I had to move it and they were like, well, how come Michaela gets to touch the elf? And they're like, oh, because I'm a teenager and Santa counts me as an adult. that's because technically, because I can get spin it because I was like, oh, I'm 18.
Yeah, I'm an adult.
I'm an adult.
The magic is not. Yeah.
So it was really cute. There was one year, because again, when you're not supposed to touch the elf, there was one year my brother was like playing like shadow boxing and he like touched the elf, but he didn't tell anybody. But
gosh.
So the elf didn't, because the whole thing is that the elf is supposed to do something every day. One day the elf didn't do anything because my mom was tired.
Uh-huh.
And so my sister's like, how come the elf didn't move? What happened? And then it was like, Zion was like, oh man, I think I did touch the elf the other day. And they're like, oh. So then Zion had wrote a note to the elf and was like, I'm so sorry, please come back. And it was like, oh, it was so cute. So that's mostly like our tradition. But again, because there's like 6 of us, so I didn't, me and my like 2 closest siblings didn't grow up like believing in Santa. We knew it was our parents. But the younger 3 or 2 kind of did. Or it was more so like, it was this weird thing. It was like, we not believed in Santa, but we knew the elf goes to Santa. Santa tells the parents what to get. So it was like, it was all some conspiracy. We knew like a big fat man wasn't coming down our chimney, especially because we didn't have one in some houses. So it was like, well, how was he going to come through? Front door? But yeah, but I just have fond memories of that. And then, every Christmas Eve, my family and I would drive around, and look at the Christmas lights. And we also, on Christmas Eve, we opened one Christmas present. Because it's honestly started with a tradition because one year, a Hispanic woman, a family friend of ours, she gave us a Christmas gift and you open it on Christmas Eve, and that's the tradition in a lot of like Latin households. So we just started to kind of take that and was like, yeah, I want to open one gift. There was one year we convinced them so much that like, can we open all the gifts on Christmas Eve and then we get to sleep in and it doesn't have to be this big thing. And Mom was like, fine. They didn't even wrap up some of the gifts yet.
So wild.
We just went and got them out the closet and we were like, yay! So
I can't believe that the only magic in your household was chaos that was created by this elf. You guys were like, I don't care about the big man. I don't care about the red suit. The elves know nothing. We don't even have a chimney for him to come through. But that elf on the shelf, he's got power. That's so funny. The elf
on the shelf, he has power. He sees everything.
See, I always thought of the elf as a shelf as just like a malicious entity, because on the internet, whenever I see people talk about the elf on the shelf, they're always like, he's moving, but we don't know who's moving him. He just happens to be in random places, like some sort of like evil spirit. And so I don't mess with elf on the shelves. They live in the same area of my mind as like Furbies, where I'm like, for some reason this toy is inexplicitly it's evil. It's not good. There's some bad juju coming out of that thing.
Nah, it's not that they're evil. They're just mischievous. They just like to have fun. They just be a little silly.
I don't know, fam. I don't know.
They get to. I love a good elf on the shelf. Because then every year we like read the story, so it was very fun.
Oh man, what was one of your favorite Christmas gifts that you received?
Ooh, can't really remember. Oh, I was a little older. I could tell you the story. I was been about like 23, and I said I want an easy bake oven for Christmas, and they were like, "Why? You can just cook in a regular oven." I want an easy bake oven because I never got an easy bake oven when I was younger. I want one now.
Healing that inner child.
And my mom was like, "Well, okay, sure." And she was laughing, because she would get an easy bake oven, and so they were like, "Oh, is this for my younger sister's Mackenzie?" She was like, "Oh, is this for Mackenzie?" They was like, "No, Michaela wants an easy bake oven." Why? I don't know. She just said she wanted it. It was the only thing that was on the list. Yup. And I do. So that was my favorite. What about you?
For my favorite, I would have to really think about it, but one that sticks out in my mind is one from early childhood. So I don't know if you remember back in the day, the Barbie Pegasus movie.
Yeah.
I actually don't know if I've ever watched it. I think I have. And honestly, I think I was just too young to remember it. But for Christmas, probably the year it came out, they got me the black version of the Pegasus doll. And I loved her. I loved her so much. My little black Barbie with her Pegasus. She was so beautiful. She had this like purple dress and she was like gorgeous with her, her gorgeous brown skin and her hair. And she had like a little tiara. I can't remember if it came with the Pegasus or not. It might have, but I think I did not care about the horse as much. I just loved that doll. And I remember
Cute.
I had a cousin who was also there, visiting us for Christmas. It was her first time in the United States, and she was also just mesmerized with my doll. And so we would just play, the two of us with the doll. We were like, this is the most gorgeous thing ever. So I don't know if this is like my favorite of the gifts I've gotten, but it was definitely one of my favorite Christmas memories growing up. And honestly,
Nice.
I wish I knew what happened to that doll. But I loved her. I could not tell you what the plot of that film was. I know that there's flying horses and she's a princess and that's about it. And she
Yeah.
definitely wasn't black in the movie, but you know what? Who cares?
Who cares? It was beautiful. Oh, that's really sweet. Yeah. I think stuff like that is very fun for like Christmas memories. Speaking of memories, we talked a little bit about watching the specials were also like a big part of like the Christmas memories. Do you have a favorite Christmas special?
I have a favorite Christmas special. If I had to choose one special that like I remember always being excited to watch, it would definitely be Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer.
Mm-hmm.
That show, that special, especially now as an adult looking back, it was on crack. The plot just doesn't make sense. And having
Makes
the reveal,
perfect sense.
I mean, it does, but also it doesn't. So let me explain the plot for anybody who hasn't seen it. Can I say spoilers? I mean, it is old. I'm going to spoil it, but
it's
even
spoilers,
if I spoil,
but come on, yeah, it's been years.
It's been years. It's like, I think it's from the early 2000s. It's either early or mid 2000s. So she's been out. So if you haven't seen it, you should watch it after this. Maybe skip to past my explanation. So it starts with this kid. I don't remember what the kid's name is. He's this young lad and he celebrates Christmas with his family, including his grandparents. And one day, I think like a couple of days before Christmas, his grandmother suddenly disappears. And when they go to where she disappeared, it looks as if she got run over by a reindeer. So they're like, what happened? And since she's disappeared, they're like not really sure where she is. And I think Santa, he left a note and he was like, yeah, my reindeer went crazy. He ran over your grandma. We're taking care of her at the North Pole. And they're like, is this real? Like, did Santa actually run over our grandma? And so this is where it starts to turn a little crazy. So in their family, they have like these like conniving family members. I think there's like a cousin. For some reason, I remember her name. She was like Cousin Mel or something. And so she tries to take advantage of the situation. So she decides to sue Santa for the disappearance of grandma. And it's like, what? You're suing Santa? So they do get a hold of Santa and she gets a lawyer and they're like stoked about the fact that they are suing Santa. But the boy is like, no, we can't sue Santa. So he's like, we have to find grandma and we have to find out like what actually happened. Like, if he really was, being negligent and that's why the reindeer ran her over. So they go on this whole adventure. And also the grandpa is incriminated in all this. I can't remember how. It's been a while since I've seen the special, but he's also incriminated. So they're also trying to keep the grandfather out of prison as well as, not sue Santa. So they do eventually find the grandma. She has lost her memory. So they're like, man, we have to do some more sleuthing to figure out what happened. And long story short, what they found out is that grandma, she has a famous fruitcake recipe, and something she puts in the fruitcake makes reindeers go crazy. So that's why the reindeer like flipped out and then ran her over. And I think it also was revealed that whatever was put in the fruitcake, was not supposed to be in the fruitcake. It had something to do with Cousin Mel. She roofied the fruitcake or something. Not roofied. I'm sorry. She put something in there that wasn't supposed to be in there that enticed the reindeers and made them go a little cray cray. So that's why she got ran over. And so they reveal this in a court of law. Santa gets acquitted. The grandpa gets acquitted. Cousin Mel maybe ends up in jail. I don't remember. And this entire special is a musical. So there's a great number called Grandpa's Gonna Sue the Pants Off of Santa. That is top tier, top 10 hit. Make sure that you check that hit out. But it's just a wild and wacky, this is special. And I always loved watching it on Christmas Day.
Yeah. I didn't want to cut you off, but I don't think Grandpa was was also under trial or something.
Yeah, I think he was gonna sue, because when I mentioned the song, I was like, there it is.
Yeah, he was just gonna sue, so he wasn't also going to jail.
Cousin Mel was convinced to sue Santa.
Yes, Cousin Mel convinced Grandpa to sue Santa because it's we can't find her. Where is she? Losing her memory, doesn't know where she is. That's also why, when she got ran over and, it was she's fine.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't go straight back home, because then I'm looking at it to recall my memory. This happens in the span of 3 months.
What? Bro, when you're a kid, some of this stuff just flies over your head. I thought it was the week leading up to Christmas.
It was, this all happened in the span of 3 months, which is funny because I'm yeah. So, but also, for those of you who don't know, Grandma Got Ran Over by a Reindeer is actually a song. So that's what the movie is based off of.
Yeah.
In the actual song, Grandma died.
What? Oh, what? I feel like I did know that, but this is shocking my system.
Yeah. Grandma died, and then they were and then they legit was no, Santa doesn't have an unfit license. He's drunk. Get him out of there. So that was a silly thing, but obviously when it came to Cartoon Network and stuff, to WB, they were let's make it kid friendly.
Let's not do that.
Yeah, and it was
you can't say it's not jaw dropped.
Exactly. And it was it's not that he, was a bad driver. It's you said, the reindeers drifted off to a different way because of the smell of the fruitcake.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that would have, man, my childhood would have been way different if Grandma had died, and they would have had to I don't know, find the cause of her death special victim style. Oh, I need to go listen to that song. I actually don't think I've ever heard that song.
Yeah. I just know it from because they had to re-record it for the special.
Did they re-record it and change the lyrics?
Grandma got ran over by a reindeer. Something on Christmas Eve. You can say
coming
there's
home
no
from our
such
house
thing
Christmas
as Santa.
Eve. You can say there's no such thing as Santa, but as for me and Grandma, we believe.
Yeah. So yeah,
I think they did change the lyrics because it goes on. I don't know those other lyrics, but I do know that little tagline there. Yeah, I have things to look up. I have things to think about. Did I even watch that special last year? Maybe, maybe not. I feel like I tried to catch it when it's on something, but in the age of streaming, I don't think it's on any streaming services. It might be on YouTube. I have to look.
It might be.
I'm sure you can find it. I'm sure the internet sleuths can find it.
Yeah, but also, yeah, Grandpa's Gonna Sue the Pants Off of Santa. Instant hit. Everyone even was yeah, it goes crazy on YouTube and stuff. So
it's so fun, and you won't even believe the genre if you've never heard the song. Listeners, I need you to look this up and add it to your playlist immediately.
Yeah, super super great song. Honestly, best thing ever. Love.
We've decided. We've decided. All right.
Make sure you. I know for me, Billy and Mandy Saves Christmas is a really good special. Now this one, I actually just watched it when I was thinking about it. I was I used to like this special, and I was this is so unhinged.
It is!
Billy and Mandy basically have to save Santa after they find out that he is bitten by a vampire. So then they go looking for the vampire, the head vampire, not Nosferatu, but capture of him, and try to find out oh, well, he's the one who bit Santa. He was no, I'm not the head one. There's somebody else. So they're going around. They're also delivering presents, in the classic, oh, Santa's out of commission, so we gotta be Santa for a day. Then turns out that Mrs. Claus bit Santa. And why, you ask? Because she said she was tired of always having to clean up and do everything while Santa just sit on his ass 365 days a year. And it was like, you would think the elves would help. No, they don't.
No. I remember there was a line where she's like, I work my fingers to the bone, doing whatever. And I guess that was my first taste of feminism.
Yep. But no, that was hilarious. And then even afterwards, there was like, Santa, you know your wife's a vampire. And he was like, yeah, she was a vampire when I met her. Got it.
Wasn't there a joke that this happens like every year or every couple of years?
Yeah.
Well, why she doesn't divorce him, the world may never know.
Very, very silly, very, very funny. Like, I love that special. Billy and Mandy is just so funny. So when they make the Christmas special like that, it's very fun.
Oh my God. Not Sandy. What was her name? Mandy?
Mm-hmm.
Mandy, she was ready to stake that motherfucker. She was like, I'm gonna kill him.
Immediately. And they're like, whoa, calm down, girl. Like, yeah. I loved it. Very, very good time. Love those specials. Also, a couple of ones, the SpongeBob special.
Yes.
And I'm talking about the OG SpongeBob Christmas special. I know there's like a CG one, not CG.
It is CG.
Stop motion.
Stop motion?
Yeah.
So I'm a liar.
Yeah.
I really thought it was CG. Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen the entire episode because I don't know. I guess I was too old. I was just not in that Christmas spirit. So I've never seen the whole thing, but I know the song from it. Don't be a jerk. It's Christmas.
Yeah, that's the stop motion one, which, plays a classic to all the stop motion specials that were just out there, such as Rudolph and the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I forget what that special is called, but it's the one with Jack Frost and like the Heat Man. I don't know.
Heat Miser.
Yeah.
Girl, I could not tell you because I've never seen that one. At least I don't think I have. I actually did not grow up watching a lot of the stop motion stuff.
The stop motion stuff it has a place in my heart, but it's also very like silly as well.
It's classic. Yeah. It's old style. I think they're from the like 50s or 60s or maybe even the 70s. I don't really know. I just know there's like before our time.
Yeah. Very, very cute though. Love those styles. Yeah, even the SpongeBob.
Yeah, let's rewind to the SpongeBob
special is the stop motion one, and then the other one that I'm remembering
the
that
OG.
I personally like, the OG one, is the 2D style where Sandy tells SpongeBob about Christmas.
Yeah, it's called Christmas Who.
Yeah, it's called Christmas Who, and she tells him about Christmas and all that embedded there, and they have like a really fun time. Squirt was like, don't believe in Santa, but then he ultimately ends up like, gifting everybody with stuff from his house because he felt bad.
Yeah, he somehow tricked everybody into thinking that he was Santa, and so he's like, well, I can't let the people down, so he clears everything out for everybody. I remember there was one scene where a little girl, she gets 2 forks to replace her front teeth, which was very cute, but also
very silly cartoon humor. It was very fun.
Yeah. Let's talk about the music from that episode. Bangers, all of them. The very first Christmas to me, Santa's Coming Tonight.
Like, immediate. I still think about Mr. Krabs hitting that falsetto. Like, Christmas feels like the very first Christmas to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, loved it.
And if I have to talk about another Christmas special from Cartoon Network, I want to bring up Chowder's Christmas special. Hey, it's Kanishmas, which is its own little spin on like the holiday mysticalism. So they don't have Santa Claus and they don't have like, the elves in the workshop or whatever. They have this evil looking creature guy. He looks kind of like a caterpillar, and I'm trying to remember what the name of that creature was. He's like the stand-in for Santa, and I remember finding him kind of horrifying, but they have to like, I think, cook a dish, and he'll only leave gifts if the dish is good. And so it was just a really wacky take on Christmas, and it fit into the style of the show very well.
Okay.
I gotta look this up right now. What was that evil creature's name? Because he had 6 legs, and he would run full speed, and like if he saw you like in the night, he would chase after you.
I'm gonna be so honest when I tell you I do not remember Chowder Christmas special.
Oh, put this on your homework assignments. You need to watch the Hey, it's Kanishmas.
No, they.
I'm looking up the name of the Santa character because they really thought about it. Oh, they have to bake him like not a gingerbread cake, a schmingerbread house, and it has to be good, or else you just like don't get gifts. Why can't I find this creature's name? Kanish Crinkle. That was the evil creature's name.
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah. It has the same slapstick kind of wacky humor that regular Chowder has. So
Yeah.
I think of it as a really good take on making your own type of Christmas special that doesn't live within the lore of our reality.
For sure, for sure.
All right, any other Christmas specials?
Less specials for me, more movies. But do you have any specials?
Any episode specials? If we're going to live action territory, for some reason, I feel like I really liked the Austin Alley Christmas special. I could not tell you the plot if I tried, but they had a really good song, and I listen to that song every year. It's called I Love Christmas, and I don't know, the Christmas special, I guess, doesn't have to be good to me. As long as there's good music, I'm there. I'm sat. I'll sit through it just to hear the song.
Yeah.
Other ones that come to mind?
Every Christmas special, I feel like some involvement of Santa, a good Christmas song of how everyone loves each other, basically, and it always slaps.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Another, I guess some people consider it a movie, but I guess it's technically a special. I think it's only an hour.
For the animated special?
Yeah, How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
I unfortunately am more partial to the movie, so.
The live action with Jim Carrey?
Yeah, I love that. So funny.
Do you ever think about the fact that he was so miserable filming that movie?
Is that what he said?
Yes, he's talked about it in interviews. He was like, I felt like I was dying in that suit because he had to sit through hours of makeup and costuming in order to get into the suit. It was super hot and there were lights on set and he had to, do his crazy wacky movements. Jim Carrey is not a stationary man, so he was moving in that suit and he's like, yeah, it felt like my skin was just itching the entire time. I don't know if that's exactly the quote, but I would recommend you look it up because he had a terrible time. He's like, I will never do anything like this ever again.
Well, I thank him for his sacrifice every day.
Yeah,
because
that movie did a great job.
Is hilarious. It's like, fine, I'm going. But yeah, do I have a question on the Grinch? That's not what I asked you. He's like, she's so
all right, lay down some of the Christmas movies. Let's take a stroll down memory lane.
I am a real big fan of the Santa Claus.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny, me and kind of my coworkers kind of quote it every year because we make this joke of oh, man, who's gonna take this position when so leaves? And it was well, it's obviously Santa Claus rule. You have to kill someone and then you have to take over as it. So I just think that's a funny concept. I was like, Santa really just died.
It's you really murked that man and had to put on his clothes and become him.
He didn't murk him. Santa fell off the roof.
In a court of law, though. That would be involuntary manslaughter, no?
No. Santa fell off the roof because Santa wasn't paying attention. So I'm like, hey, who are you? And you slip and fall. You didn't kill me. It was an accident.
Okay.
But because he was right there, it was well, I guess I got the suit now. That's what happened.
My question is, why did his kid tell him to put the suit on? Because he wouldn't have taken on the mantle if he hadn't put on the suit, right? Would he? It's actually not clear to me.
I don't think it was you should put this on. I thought it was, he was just, it's been a minute. Been a minute as in 12 months. But I'm pretty sure it was just a Santa, you're Santa now. Because it happened in front of you.
You have to take the responsibility. You were the Santa Claus that stepped up.
Yes, exactly. But no, that was always a fun movie. And I even like Santa Claus 2, where it's hey, yeah, and you gotta get married. Which, between
crazy.
The Santa Claus 2 and the Princess Diaries 2, I was that was a year a lot for oh yeah, by the way, you have to get married. What? Why? Why is this a clause now? This wasn't in the first movie established.
Patriarchy. That's how it'll happen to you.
I thought it was funny. And it was you have to find the Mrs. Close. Also, I thought the portrayal of it was cute. He's with his son. He's a divorced dad. Just seeing that and just the cuteness of it. So I was really big fan. But I love the Santa Claus. I love Unaccompanied Minors. That is about, I actually just watched it this past weekend with a friend at her Christmas party, but it's basically about these bunch of kids and they are stuck at an airport. They're unaccompanied minors and they get stuck in the airport and they have to, fight their way through mall security. This guy who's just having a real bad day, so real bad Christmas, so everyone has a bad day. He's trying to get to his sister in time for Christmas Day.
Wow. I've never seen that film. I'll add it to my list of films that I need to watch. It's a very long list.
And another one that I honestly love to do, The Last Holiday, with LL Cool J and Queen Latifah. So basically in this one, Queen Latifah thinks she's dying.
Oh?
Given...
Not my queen.
Yeah, given a mixed diagnosis by a doctor because the machine is wrong. So she's like, well, damn, I ain't get to do anything that I wanted to. Well, fuck it. So she goes to, I think it's Greece, Germany. She goes out of the country, basically. And in that, she meets a group of people, and she's just the light of the room, and everyone's just so intrigued with her. So it's a really fun movie. Yeah, I love it. It's very silly.
I too would be enchanted with Queen Latifah.
Yeah. Very, very fun movie. Love Queen Latifah. Again, watched it this past weekend. Very funny. Laughed out loud. It was just very silly. So yeah, those are my movies that I'm a big fan of. What about you?
We got to talk about Elf. Elf changed lives. I really liked Elf. I don't like the face that you just made. What are you saying? Are you saying you don't like Elf? Okay, so listeners, we are fighting.
I don't think it's as iconic as everyone tries to. They're like,
no. Bro, that bowl of spaghetti that he made, it stays on my thoughts because how could you eat that? And Will Ferrell actually ate that disgusting concoction of spaghetti, chocolate sauce, and Lucky Charms. I don't even remember what was in it. I just know that looking at it made me feel like, is this what diabetes is? I don't know. I thought there were so many fun scenes. I liked the woman character whose name I forget. We got to start writing these people's names down before we talk about this. It's Zoe Deschanel. She's the actress, but I don't remember what her character's name was. Frankie? I don't know. I pulled that out of my ass. And the kid and the divorce and just, I don't know. There was the little, I think they had a stop motion scene in there. It was really fun. I like the gags. I like his little outfit. I like him having just Christmas hijinks because he's an innocent little soul who's stuck in New York. I love that shit. But so we got to watch this film together so that I can change your mind because this movie is fun. It is fun.
Well, you won't change my mind.
I can try. I can damn well try.
Also, her name is Jovi.
I wasn't going to guess that name. The fact that I got that E at the end, good enough. Hey. I'm not good with names. So I like Elf, and I don't know if you guys feel that Elf does not deserve a place in the Christmas Hall of Fame. I guess we're all fighting. But anywho, moving right along, other Christmas movies. Home Alone. I had Home Alone growing up, the first one and the second one. I think the second one is actually a pretty good sequel. It's definitely not as iconic as the first, but they did what they had to do. Macaulay Culkin, he pulled out all the stops every single time. He did the thing.
And did. I love Home Alone, love Home Alone 2. Very fun. Very just a funny film.
Yeah.
Damn, y'all really done left him. Yeah, it was very cool, very inventive.
Mm-hmm.
I think there was talks. Macaulay Culkin said that he wanted to do a Home Alone movie, spin-off, and he wanted to be okay, so he said that he wanted to be a take with him and his kid, basically. So he wanted his kid.
So a reboot.
Yes. So it was he wanted not even a reboot, a continuation. So it's he still Kevin.
Is that not still a reboot?
No, a reboot is when it's a remaking of it. And continuation is these are the characters and played by the same people. And it's a different, it's still going thing. Okay, so reboot is where we're taking the story and we're adding twists and turns and different things to it. When it's a revival, then we're keeping these same characters and all that same lore before is still the same. We're just adding on to it.
Okay, I got you. I see the difference between the terms now.
Yeah. So if it was a reboot, then Kevin would be a different Kevin.
Yeah, which they did do. I think there's 4.
They did do that.
Home Alones in total. I think I've seen all of them, and I don't have any qualms with the other 2. They're not as iconic, and most people, I don't think a lot of people saw them, because I think they were direct to DVD. But they're okay.
Yeah, I just mostly remember 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he said he wanted to do that where it's basically his kid is setting traps for him, and Kevin, has to get through the traps in order to get in the house because him and his son, have like a not good relationship. So he said he wanted to be a play on that.
I'm taken aback. That would be wild because if I'm thinking about the like OG pranks that Kevin was pulling,
I honestly think, yeah.
He was doing, like, he was maiming those wet bandits. Like, the flamethrower to the head, the tacks on the ground, stepping on glass ornaments, literally cutting a wire when they're trying to go from the house to the treehouse. Yeah, the fact that they did not die, miraculous. So if they're doing that level of trickery to Kevin as an adult, I sure hope not. That would be one wild parent-child relationship.
Yeah, they probably won't. He'll probably get like comedically hurt, but not as much as the guys did. Wasn't nail on the head and all that stuff. Especially because I feel like the violence today has like what kids are shown today has like lessons, so they definitely won't have that in the newer stuff. But I was a big fan of those Home Alone movies. Those were good too.
Oh my God, I looked it up, and fun fact, Scarlett Johansson was in Home Alone 3. She was one of the siblings.
Nice.
Just a random fact.
Yeah. Macaulay Culkin's brother was also in the Home Alone movies.
Yeah, he played one of his siblings. Yeah. Well,
and Nightmare Before Christmas is a good Christmas film.
Yeah. We decided to table that one because I was like, it's a Halloween special, but you were like, no, it's a Christmas special, which makes more sense.
Yeah, I feel like it's 65% Christmas and then the rest is Halloween.
Yes, I would agree with that. I watched it for the first time maybe like 2 years ago.
Nice.
Yeah, I felt like I had to because in the office building where the animation studio I was working at, like in the lobby of that building for Halloween every year, they would put a giant Jack Skellington in the lobby. Like that thing was like 20 feet tall. And it would just, you would walk by it and they would have it there for the entirety of the month of October. And I think that's why I also, associated The Nightmare Before Christmas with Halloween more than Christmas, because every October he would just be there and we would take pictures in front of it, especially on Halloween in all our costumes. Like I have pictures on my phone of us just standing in front of this giant Jack Skellington. So they should have done it twice a year. They should have done it for the month of October and December. You just walk in and there he is protecting us, protecting this office building where there's like banks and this one random animation studio.
I live up the street from a production company, and I was walking the other day, and so they had for Halloween they had a skeleton just on their roof. Looking at it, I'm like, that shit is scary. Seeing it at dark, I was like terrified, and they had it for Halloween. So I'm thinking, I was like, maybe they're gonna take it down like afterwards. I walked by like 2 weeks ago, they just had a Santa hat on it, so which I was like, that's so funny. That's hilarious. So
you can take us out of Halloween, but you can't take the Halloween out of us.
Yes. Which I think that's why I feel like people Nightmare Before Christmas just feed into the thing was like, you have Halloween and then you have Christmas. Thanksgiving sure is there, but it's Halloween, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Christmas. No. Is it what it is?
I will neither accept or deny this because I know how it moves. I know when they start putting out the Christmas decorations. As soon as it hits November 1st, there you go. There are the lights, there are the trees. Mariah Carey, I can hear her in the distance. But for me, I'm like, I don't start celebrating Christmas until after Thanksgiving. I know Thanksgiving is not the greatest holiday on earth. In fact, it's pretty controversial if you really think about it. But I like having certain things happening at certain times. I don't like month-long celebrations.
I mean, most of the holidays are pretty controversial anyways. But yeah, I love me a good Christmas special and everything.
Mm-hmm. I wanted to mention one more Christmas special, just because Adventure Time is one of my favorite cartoons of all time. And I just think that their take on a Christmas special was really interesting. So in their Christmas special, they had kind of a home movie setup going on where all the characters were sitting around watching home movies. And it's through those home movies that we find out that the villain character, the Ice King, is actually just like a cursed college professor who has gone crazy because of the magical crown that he wears on his head. So they did like this really big lore drop within what was supposed to be just a cozy Christmas special. And now thinking about it, I feel like I just really like Christmas specials that subvert expectations. Like they either, have a reimagining of Christmas or, the wackiest things that you can ever think of are going on. Like suing fucking Santa Claus or just whatever, just random stuff. I feel like I like those more than like the classic like stop motion Christmas specials or like the feel good type of Christmas movies. Like I think I like the ones with a little bit of chaos.
Yeah.
How about you? How would you sum up your favorite Christmas entities?
I'm a fan of the lighthearted, very sweet, oh my gosh, Christmas. That's what it's all about. Just like feel to it and stuff. I love where everything's like cute at the end. Love a good romance also thrown in there. Just because I'm a romance girly. Love a good, again, musical moment when it comes to Christmas. So yeah, big fan.
That's so funny because when we talked about our Christmas memories, and I feel like I have more like traditional like Santa Claus and leaving out the cookies and wrapping up gifts, and you guys have Elf on the Shelf, Elf on the fucking shelf.
I feel like that's a traditional. I think it's a more of a later traditional.
Yeah, it's one of those newfangled traditions.
Yeah, very very fun.
Still very iconic.
Yes, Elf on the Shelf has like several movies and stuff. So Christmas has to be one of my favorite holidays. So it's very like love. From Georgia, so we rarely get snow, so it's mostly ever cold. But love sitting around hot chocolate and talking about movies and putting up the tree.
Yeah, I grew up in Maryland, so we did get snow. I love a good white Christmas. There is one year I actually was in Texas, and it snowed on Christmas, and I was like, it's a Christmas miracle. But I love, we usually just stay in our PJs all day. We play with our gifts. We watch Christmas specials. We got our hot chocolates and things, and it's just a great time to spend with family, and also to be appreciative that we have the ability to get each other gifts, especially when we were older. As kids, we were just receiving, but now as an adult, I can get gifts for my family, and every year my father's like, I just want money.
Yeah.
Okay, man.
Yeah.
He's like, what are you gonna do with that money? I'm gonna buy myself some white dress shirts. Please, sir, whatever.
He said, I'm gonna be dripped down.
I just love having time with the family. And, Christmas, it changes as you grow older, but it's still a special, special time.
It is. So before we go, I want to talk about our favorite holiday songs, particularly for me. First of all, gotta let it at the gate. Let It Snow by Boyz II Men. Every time when I hear it, I'm like, I know it's Christmas. That and Silent Night by The Temptations. That's when in my mind, like, okay, it's holiday time. It's holiday season. That's a good one. But then one of my favorites is also one of the controversial ones. Baby, It's Cold Outside.
I remember the controversy surrounding this song. It was actually a manufactured controversy because people didn't understand the context of the song.
What do you mean?
Well, okay, I don't know. Do you want to talk about the controversy?
Yeah, you can
since
talk
this
about
is your
it.
pick?
Yeah.
Well, from what I understand, at some point in like the 2000s or the 2010s, people were interpreting the lyrics as like this man is like coming onto her and like not letting her leave, like creepily. But actually, if you think about the context of like that era, so women were kind of supposed to be coquette. They were supposed to be demure. Like, you couldn't really outright say that you wanted to like spend Christmas with somebody. So you kind of had to be a little cheeky and like be like, dang, I really gotta go. Whatever. And the guy, his part in it is more just like he's giving her excuses to stay more so than like forcing her to be there. And that's something that people had to like turn around on because it was like the song was like innocent and cute when it came out. At some point in the 2000s/2010s, people decided, no, this is like creepy. And then it had to come back around to, no, this is supposed to be cheeky and fun.
Okay, so I agree. So that was also going to be my point. So because it started off as like, yeah, cheeky and whatever, and then we go into a new millennium of like, maybe he shouldn't say that. Only because when she was like, hey, what's in this drink? And it's like, she was roofied.
Yeah, I think that was a stretch. I don't think she was actually roofied. I think she just wanted to play it like, this is alcoholic, but I don't drink alcohols type of like kind of idea.
I am also, sorry, putting on my too woke hat. I am also on the sense of like, no, they shouldn't add that in there. So I honestly like more recent versions.
Yeah.
Where they even, cause there's one with Adina Menzel and Michael Bublé where they're singing and they add maybe like a couple of stuff. It was like, I had too many drinks or just something, or they cut that what's in this drink line, and they just made it more, modern and stuff. Cause I agree, while it was played in a more like, that's cheeky of the times, because times change and because a lot of people are like more aware of things. It's like, you unfortunately can't have that in the line. So honestly, I do like that the update has been just like convey of the times, because where it's also where that a man and a woman awfully like sing. There's a couple of versions where 2 women sing, 2 men sing.
The Glee version, you could never take that from me.
Love the Glee version. So it's like, oh, and there's embedded, like, she doesn't talk about a drink. She's like, I wish the neighbors don't see me. She embeds other stuff. Even at the end, it was like, hey, but if you want to, like, I'm not pressuring or anything. And she was like, I'm fine, I'll stay. There's even one that was like, huh, that took a lot of convincing, like, you don't want to go. Like, come on now, let's go. So yeah, I just think this song is just like funny, because I think honestly this whole thing is very humorous for short in it, but my assessment still stands. It's like, you can't have certain things in there given the new times.
Yeah, honestly, I would never accuse anybody of being too woke for that interpretation that got popularized, a couple years back. I do think it was like ultimately wrong because it lacked context and a bit of nuance, but at the same time, it's like a song, and sometimes you just take things at face value. So I think it is also better that they changed it for good, and so that people can't really misinterpret it. Like, there's nothing wrong with making it a little bit clearer, and it still comes off as cheeky and fun. So it's like, I'm not the woke police or whatever that. Wait, would the woke police be the people telling people they're too woke, or would it be the people trying to be woke? Whatever. I'm not saying anybody was wrong for feeling some type of way about it. I just think it was really funny that it had this like 180 like twice.
Yeah.
So a 360.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. But love Baby's Close. Do you have a favorite Christmas song?
Favorite Christmas songs? Oh, I have so many Christmas songs. I have a playlist called my Jingle Jangle Jams, and it's just my favorite Christmas songs. I'm just scrolling through it real quick, but on the top of my list, unfortunately, All I Want for Christmas Is You. She goes double platinum in this household.
Not unfortunately, fortunately.
Okay.
Still a bop.
I also like Christmas, Baby Please Come Home, Mariah's version. But what else do I got on here? I also have the Big Time Rush version of All I Want for Christmas. I like that one.
Nice.
I think it has Miranda Cosgrove in it. Or no, does it? I think it does. I could be wrong. I have a lot of like Disney Nickelodeon songs in this playlist. Kelly Clarkson's Underneath the Tree. Love that song.
I love Underneath.
A recent favorite of mine, even though this is not a recent song, but Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. I only heard it for the first time a couple years back because it's an NSYNC song, right?
Yeah. I love it.
I was about to say the Backstreet Boys, and I wasn't ready to catch that flack, so I'm glad that I chose the right one. She was going to clock me.
Yeah.
But yes, I only heard that song for the first time a couple years back, but she plays on repeat. When the holiday season arises, there she is. I also love Pentatonics, all of their Christmas stuff, like Come All Ye Faithful, their little breakdown with that. God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen, Hallelujah. Like, I think they're kind of like, I feel like they are Christmas royalty at this point. Not to dethrone Mariah, but I think they belong somewhere in the ether of like Christmas entertainers.
You're playing Pentatonics, Michael Bublé, The Temptations, Boyz II Men, and you're playing Mariah Carey. And for me, I am playing the NSYNC, and I am playing just Kelly Clarkson's stuff. So, and A Cheetah-licious Christmas. Can't forget about that.
I actually don't know that one. I gotta look her up. Why don't I know that one? I'm not kidding when I say I have a lot of Disney Channel stuff on here, but I think it's all like newer, like 2010s Disney that I have. Of course I have K-pop songs in here. We don't have to get too far into that, but I will say, every time the snow falls for the first time, EXO's The First Snow, she has to be played. There's a whole, dance challenge and everything, and I think about that song every single time, especially when the snow starts falling. Going back, man, I have a lot of songs here. Some of the more like, I guess, I don't know how to describe them, but they're like the more silly kid ones, like I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas and Alvin and the Chipmunks, the Chipmunk song. Those two, yeah.
Iconic.
I love a fun little Christmas song. Jackson 5, I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus.
I was just listening to that earlier. Love it. I did. I really did see Mommy kissing Santa Claus.
Yeah, there's just so many good ones. You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. Ooh, I need to learn all the lyrics to that one. You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
It's very hard to do, but I do think it's fun.
Mm-hmm. See, there's just so many good iconic songs, and you can find them in so many different genres. And for me, they just remind me of different eras in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have specific memories. Like going back to the NSYNC one, the reason why I listened to it for the first time a few years back is because we got into the tradition of, driving in the neighborhoods surrounding us to look at the Christmas lights. And for some of them, they make it a whole like event where you can tune into a radio frequency and they'll play Christmas songs to go with the lights. So the lights will be synced up with the music. And so Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays was one of the songs that played during this light show while we were in our car. And so I'm like, yeah, this song takes me back to that like wonderful Christmas memory. And even though I was an adult, I still hold that dear in my heart.
Cute. I also, I agree. Those songs are just a very embedded thing that came into it. I also like, Christmas in Hollis or Holiday in Hollis, by Run DMC. Yeah, by Run DMC. And there was Santa Claus Goes Straight to the Ghetto. I forget who that's by, but
I've never heard of that. I gotta listen to that.
Very like that classic old style. My grandpa used to love playing that. But yeah, love it. Love Christmas songs. Just that feel of it. I do. And we let's drink eggnog too when doing it. So I don't know if you ever had eggnog, but it's good.
I am allergic to eggs. I've never had eggnog.
That's right.
I will say that it smells horrid. What? Is it just egg?
No. Honestly, don't know what's in it.
Does it have egg in it? It does, right?
Probably so. Let me look it up.
I'm screaming. I don't like this. Feels similar to me how I feel about like mayo. Mayo's another thing where I'm like, I question why people eat that.
But I mean, I put mayo on sandwiches. I like mayo.
I mean, yeah, I understand the use of it. I'm just like, it's just like eggs that have been like fricasseed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I put it in my potato salad and.
I was never meant to understand. And for eggnog, I'm like, we got hot chocolate right there. We got some hot cider right there.
And you got eggnog.
Gosh. But you know what? I'm not the one who is supposed to be sharing opinions on it because again, I've never had it. So you do you, fam. If it puts you into that holly jolly mood, I ain't gonna stop you.
Yeah, it got egg in it.
I mean, it's in the name. I would be shocked. There probably is vegan eggnog out there. Do I want to try it?
I might no.
I probably not. I've also never had vegan mayonnaise, so
that's not bad.
One day.
Yeah,
back to Christmas music.
And then we put like brandy, rum, whiskey, or bourbon in.
So you spike it. Oh yeah. Party drink.
You can have there's like virgin eggnog, but then a lot of people put alcohol in it.
I thought the default was the virgin. So it's supposed to be alcoholic. Okay. Both.
So if you're thinking like a kid, what are you drinking eggnog? Yeah. Yes. If you're an adult and you're like, we're drinking eggnog. Oh. So it was like most of the time when I'm looking at an adult and drinking eggnog, I'm like eggnog and then like eggnog.
Yeah.
So I'm like, right, okay.
We're getting turned tonight.
It was like, yeah.
You learned something new.
But yeah, that was I think that we're good to wrap up here. That's
Wait, one last song. I just want to say that my family in our household, we don't speak Spanish, but Feliz Navidad, if that song comes on the radio during December, we are screaming those lyrics. I could not tell you why.
Yeah.
And I wanted to put that out there before we wrap up our, what was the name of this episode? Jingle, Jangle, Holiday Wrangle. Yes. How did I forget?
How did you forget? It's literally the name. Those are good songs. Feliz Navidad, a good song. Yeah. Just in the Christmas spirit and everything. And like we said earlier, the memories, the TV shows, the movies and the songs, all just mean the same thing to me. And again, the Christmas holds something dear to my heart. And even given now that times are scary and the money is not money as it should be. It's definitely a good time to just at least spend time with family and friends and just, wish joy upon one another. So yeah, even if you don't celebrate it, if you celebrate something different like Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, and stuff, or just not celebrate at all, I wish you a happy holidays.
Yeah, from the Produce by Nostalgia podcast, we are wishing you a happy holiday. We're wishing you joy and cheer and laughter no matter what holidays you celebrate, or if you're not celebrating at all. Because honestly, sometimes it feels like there's nothing to celebrate. But we still have family, we still have friends, and we still have good times all around.
And that we do. With that being said, thanks for listening to us. We'll talk about our special memories and the media that's been a part of them. We hope you enjoyed this special episode of Produced by Nostalgia. Let us know how we did, or if you have any holiday memories, please email us at producebynostalgiapod@gmail.com. We also love to hear what holiday specials you love and what holidays you celebrate and any traditions your family partakes in. Please follow us at Produced by Nostalgia on all social media platforms for episode updates, additional content, nostalgia news, reports, and more. Until then, I have been your host, MK, with
Jedi.
Yay! Happy holidays!
Happy holidays!